Bill O'Reilly here, Tuesday, April 21st, 2020. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening across our nation. The president suspends all immigration into the USA. Georgia and Tennessee allow some businesses to reopen. Ohio closes public schools until the fall. U.S. oil prices hit the lowest level ever. Sex workers in Japan get pandemic aid. Also ahead, the endless finger-pointing over the pandemic. Let's stop that. But first, President Trump issuing an executive order temporarily halting all immigration into America amid the COVID crisis. The White House saying the move will boost the economy and help 22 million Americans who have lost their jobs. The order does not apply to those with pre-existing work or student visas. They can stay here. Georgia Governor Kemp easing pandemic restrictions. Gyms, bowling alleys, hair salons, even some tattoo parlors can reopen on Friday. Restaurants can begin serving on April 27th, next Monday, if they adhere to strict social distancing guidelines and limited seating. Tennessee will issue similar orders beginning on Monday as well. These actions are very controversial. Ohio closing all public schools until September. Governor DeWine calling large gatherings of students dangerous for public safety. A major concern is potential lawsuits against the state for exposing minors to the virus if the kids go back to school too soon. The CDC estimates just 2% of all COVID cases occur in kids under 18. A very small number, but again, there are a lot of lawyers. The price of American-based crude oil sliding to the lowest level in history. The cost dropping more than 300% in a single day, selling for less than $1 a barrel. The contagion has slashed global demand for oil as many cars and planes stay still. Japan, trying to help the country's sex workers as customers steer clear. The nation will offer financial aid to the industry after initially denying assistance to businesses across Tokyo's red light district. As the kids say, that's sick. In a moment, pandemic chaos. Let's try to stop it. Right back. It's shocking that your home can be stolen easily. Deborah learned that brutal lesson when thieves found her home's title online. They then forged the document to appear she sold her house, but she didn't. The criminals borrowed thousands using Deborah's home equity. She didn't even know she was a victim until foreclosure and eviction notices arrived. She spent a fortune trying to get her home back. The FBI now calls home title fraud one of the fastest growing crimes, but you can avoid a possible nightmare by protecting your home with Home Title Lock. Neither your homeowner's insurance nor your bank protects you. For pennies a day, Home Title Lock will. Find out if you're already a victim of home title fraud. So please register your home at HomeTitleLock.com and enter BILL, B-I-L-L, for 1 month of free protection. That's BILL for 1 month free at HomeTitleLock.com. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. Do we really all live in one world? The global pandemic is the worst thing that could happen to the concept of globalism, a fervent left-wing tenet. Famous people like Barack Obama, Pope Francis, have touted the benefits of a world with no power index, that all nations should be pretty much the same because human beings share universal qualities. Out of the one world movement has come the open border concept, aggressive socialism, inclusion that intrudes on fairness and liberty, and a variety of other misguided and even dangerous policies. Now, because of the virus, that philosophy of global equality is in tatters. China mainly responsible. Beijing's communist human rights violators lied to the world about the severity of the contagion. And China was enabled by the United Nations through the colossally incompetent World Health Organization. 5 days after the U.S. government stopped flights from China, the WHO officially objected, issuing this statement, quote, "We reiterate our call to all countries not to impose restrictions inconsistent with international health regulations. Such restrictions can have the effect of increasing fear and stigma with little health benefit," unquote. That incredibly irresponsible response from a UN agency led to intense condemnation of President Trump. Joe Biden called the flight ban fear-mongering. Congressman Eliot Engel said it was racist. As the pandemic spread across the globe, the WHO became even more dangerous. On February 29th, it issued this statement, quote, "Travel bans to affected areas or denial of entry to passengers coming from affected areas are usually not effective in preventing the importation of cases." Just a few weeks later, almost the entire world went on lockdown. Last week, President Trump announced a suspension of almost $500 million a year the USA donates to the WHO. Mr. Trump saying the USA wants to investigate exactly why the World Health Organization misled the planet. But almost immediately, Nancy Pelosi objected, calling the president a, quote, "science denier." There comes a point when fair-minded people have to speak up. The far-left movement, of which Nancy Pelosi is a leader, is a destructive enterprise. It generally despises capitalism, does not respect private property, and sees America as an oppressive nation. That mindset has not only taken root in foreign countries, but also right here at home. However, one of the few benefits of the pandemic is that far-left concepts are increasingly being challenged with undeniable facts. The truth is, we do not live in a one-world situation, no matter how many ill-informed people disagree. There are enormous differences among countries, and some nations are exceedingly dangerous to the human condition, like China. I'm Bill O'Reilly, and I approve that message by actually writing it. Please go to BillO'Reilly.com for the best pandemic coverage. In a moment, something you might not know. Do you have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep? When it's time to go to bed, are racing thoughts keeping you awake? That happens to me. If so, it's time for you to try Ebb. Ebb is the first and only wearable drug-free solution that targets the root cause of sleeplessness, those thoughts. Ebb applies precise and continuous cooling to the forehead, calming your mind. Ebb is clinically validated, and 4 out of 5 users report falling asleep faster and improving overall sleep quality. If you tried everything from pills to pillows with little success, it's time for you to try Ebb. Get the sleep you need so you have more energy to do the things you love. Right now, my listeners can try Ebb risk-free 60 nights. You even get free shipping. Call 877-777-8906 or go to tryebb.com. That's 877-777-8906, or go to tryebb.com, tryebb.com, for free shipping and a risk-free 60 nights. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. According to recent poll numbers from Pew Research, 98% of Americans now rank the spread of infectious diseases as the biggest global threat facing the world. International terrorism had held the top spot for nearly 2 decades. That stat is not surprising. More than 40,000 people have been killed by the virus in all 50 states, almost half in New York. Experts predict that number to rise to about 60,000 by summer. A growing number of Americans are blaming China for the outbreak. 90% of Republicans, nearly 70% of Democrats say official reports coming from Beijing are bogus. Other surveys show President Trump's handling of the virus on the decline. A Wall Street Journal poll says 52% of adults disapprove of Donald Trump's response to the crisis. 44% back the administration. But other polls contradict that. Some Americans, particularly women, are giving the chief executive low marks for his early response in fighting the plague. And that is a theme of the anti-Trump press. 65% say the White House did move too slowly to stop the spread back in March. A majority now believe President Trump is making the situation appear better than it really is. And half the country is dubious over his push to reopen the economy in the weeks ahead. But those polls contradict each other. A new Harvard poll says Mr. Trump is doing a good job, so who knows? Now, a recent Economist poll showed 70% of Americans believe social distancing should not be relaxed until May 1st at least. And here's something else you might not know. The contagion is actually helping the popularity of some of America's governors. More than 85% support New York's Andrew Cuomo. California Governor Gavin Newsom, his approval rate, 90%. Now, those numbers will, of course, come down. But there's a silver lining. Isn't it nice to see, finally, some political unity? Back after this. Two guys, Kyle and Josh, were both losing their hair, which was no surprise to either, since they knew male pattern baldness ran in their families. The way they dealt with their hair loss, however, couldn't have been more different. Kyle put it off, losing more and more hair. Josh went right to Keeps.com to learn how to keep his hair. Keeps offers generic versions of the only two FDA-approved hair loss products out there. The genetic versions saved Josh a lot of money, and the consultation was simple. He answered a few questions online and snapped a few pictures of his hair. A doctor then evaluated everything and recommended the right FDA-approved hair loss treatment for Josh. It was shipped discreetly to his door. Keeps lets you save your hair without ever leaving your home. Please go to Keeps, KEEPS.com/Bill to get your first order of Keeps hair loss treatment 50% off. Half off. That's Keeps.com/Bill, Keeps.com/Bill. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.